Today we're going to talk about Chapter 23, Lesson 1 and Lesson 2. We're going to combine them. And this chapter is all about percent, okay? And so you have a couple learning goals today. The first learning goal is to be able to model percent. So I want you to be able to draw a picture to show that represents a certain percentage, okay? And I also want you to be able to find decimal and percent equivalents for common fractions. We have to first understand what a percent means. Okay, so a percent compares a number to 100. The word percent actually means per 100 because let's think about it. The word cent, right? Like 1 cent, a penny. How many pennies are there in a dollar? Michaela? 100. So per cent means per 100. Okay, so 10% means 10 per 100 or 10 out of 100. So 18% means 18 out of 100. 32% means 32 out of 100. 51% means 51 out of 100. Okay, so I want you to write this down. Don't worry if you didn't get those learning goals down. I want you to write this down. Make a triple T chart and write percent in one column, fraction in one column, and decimal in one column. Okay, so if 10% means 10 out of 100, how could I write that in a fraction form? 10 out of 100. It's like if we had 100 friends up here and 10 out of those 100 were girls. We would say 10 out of 100 or 10% are girls. How do I write that as a fraction? Sakshi? Before we simplify it though, 10 out of 100 is 10 100ths, right? And then of course I can simplify that to 1/10. And then what's the decimal form of 1/10 then? Atharva? 0.1. Very good. Carmel, will you please take off your hood? Okay, let's try another percent. Chris, give me a number between 1 and 100. Say it with confidence and also volume so I can hear you. Huh? 5%. Okay. So 5%, remember percent means per 100 or out of 100. So 5% means 5 out of 100. And how could I write that as a fraction? 5 out of 100. Ria? 5 hundredths. Can I simplify that?
Yes.
To what? 1 out of 20. Okay. So the fraction form is 1/20th. What's the decimal form? If I have 5 100ths. Do I have anything in the ones place? Do I have any digits in the ones place? No. Okay. Are there any tenths? No. Are there any hundredths?
Yes.
5 hundredths. How many hundredths do I have?
5.
So what's the decimal form?
0.05.
Good. So 5% is 0.05 or 1/20th. They all mean the same thing. It means if I had 100 people up here and I said how many of them were wearing glasses and the answer was 5, 5 out of those 100 people are wearing glasses. I could say 5% of the people are wearing glasses. I could say 1/20th of the people are wearing glasses, or I could say 0.05 of them are wearing glasses. Make sense? Okay, I need one more percentage. Now you give me a number 1 through 100. Let's use your number, 27. 27%. Percent means per 100. So 27 out of 100, how could I write that as a fraction? Henrik, how can I write that as a fraction? 27 100ths. Can I simplify that?
No.
Okay. How do I write that as a decimal? If I have 27 hundredths, how do I write that as a decimal? Kevin? 0.27. Because I have 27 hundredths. Very good. Okay. The question is, how can you model with percents? Danielle has collected, or she has a collection of 100 game board counters. There are 40 blue counters, 25 yellow counters, and 15 green counters. How many counters does she have total?
100.
How many?
100.
How many are blue?
40.
How many are yellow?
25.
How many are green?
15.
Okay, so they want you to model the collection of game board counters on a 10 by 10 grid, right? Then write each color as a percent, decimal, and fraction of the collection. So they have a hundreds grid. How many of them should they color blue?
40%.
Why should they color 40 of the squares blue? Daniel?
Because you color 40 of the squares blue because 40 out of the 100 on the 100 grid are blue.
Yeah, because she has 40 blue ones. How many should they color yellow? Shelly?
25.
And how many did they color green? Arjun?
15.
15. What I don't understand is why. Oh, so there's like 2 extra rows that are not colored, right? Because this 40 plus 25 plus 15, does that equal all 100 of her counters? So there's 20 counters that we don't know what color they are, right? Okay, that's fine. So what percent of her counters are blue? How many out of the 100 are blue? Because percent means of 100, right? So of the 100. So Ruba, how many of her counters are blue? What percent? 40%, because 40 out of 100 of them are blue. Let's write that as a fraction. 40 out of 100. Let's write that as a fraction. Andre? Because percent means out of 100, I want my denominator to be 100. So I can write an equivalent fraction that has a denominator of 100. So 30 out of 50, how can I write an equivalent fraction where my denominator is now 100? What did I have to multiply my denominator by to get from 50 to 100? Farron?
So you can multiply it by 2 because 50 is 1/2 of 100.
Okay, so if I multiplied the bottom, the denominator, by 2 to get to 100, what do I also have to multiply the top by? 2. Okay, so what's 30 times 2?
60.
So what percent did I get on my capitals quiz then?
60%.
60%. Did I do very well?
No.
It's not that good. Now, there's a second way to always find the percentage, other than finding equivalent fractions. You can always divide the numerator by the denominator to find the decimal. Okay, so remember I got 30 out of 50. What's my numerator? What's my numerator?
30.
The numerator is the number that lives on top, and the denominator lives down at the bottom. So if I divide my numerator by the denominator, so I have to divide 30 divided by 50. Okay. Can I do, how many times does 50 go into 30?
0 times.
0. So am I done?
No.
Can I change 30 into 30.0?
Yeah.
And then where do I put this decimal again?
Right above.
Right above, okay. Okay, how many times does 50 go into 300?
6 times.
Okay, 6 times 50?
300.
Okay, remainder 0. 0.6. Is that the same as 0.60?
Yeah.
That's 60 hundredths. What percent did I get?
60%.
60%. Okay, so no matter what the denominator is, you can always divide the top number, the numerator, by the denominator to find what percent you got.